it's okay. It's something we needed. We needed a long time.
Amen.
I too would like to,
Say your name.
oh, okay. I am Agatha Tolliver Coleman. When I arrived here, I was Miss Tolliver, and I married Ed Coleman. It was my job that brought me here to Stanton in 1964, and I taught at Central Augusta High School 2 years. So my experience as a teacher in the black school system was not as long as many of these people, but I was a student before I was a teacher, so I know exactly what was going on in the schools. I'm very pleased to be here today, and I thank you for all of this, and I'm pleased I have one student here today.
Let me tell you all about Miss Tolliver. Miss Tolliver taught me typing, okay? I was a foster child, okay? Miss Tolliver wore the prettiest clothes in the world. Miss Tolliver would bring her clothes to school and give them to me.
Amen.
And I never forgot her. I have loved her all my life. And I need to talk to Mr. Whitelow too, because I loved Mr. Whitelow. I had Mr. Whitelow the 6th grade and the 7th grade. Mr. Whitelow whipped me real good one day. And his favorite words was idiosyncrasies and stop horsing around. And he horsed around real good. And I have begged Mr. Whitelow for 40-some years to marry me. Everywhere I have ever lived, I've always called information to get Mr. Whitelow's number. And he'll tell you, I have lived in lots of places and I've always kept it. Haven't I? I love Mr. Whitelow and Miss Tolliver and Miss Judkins. When we used to have the fair, I was out there during the fair once with my girlfriend Yvonne, who's passed away. And Miss Judkins caught me smoking. And she told me, you better get rid of that cigarette. And I have not seen these people in 47 years, and I'm so happy to see them. I'm just so elated. And I love you all. And I thank you. And Mr. Hamilton, you know I love you. I seen you not long ago. And that's it. Thank you.
And that's Judy. I didn't know she was going to say all that. And the last thing I would just like to say was that I had 40 wonderful years being a teacher in the Augusta County school system.
Oh, wow.
Speak, Shirley. What's up with that? Austin, speak, Shirley.
Hello.
Yes.
I guess I better speak.
Okay. I started out at Shirley Fields in Stanton, Virginia. My first job with the school system was secretary at D. Webster Davis. I substituted in the classroom. Then I went to Central Augusta, where I was secretary after Mrs. Bex retired from ACT. I was secretary for the Augusta County School System. From there, I went back to school, came back, and I've been in the classroom for over 40-some years. I'm very proud to say that I have many young people who have come my way, and some are doctors, and some are lawyers, and I'm so proud of each and every one of them, black and white. I was privileged to teach in the county, and I always wanted to make sure that our kids got the best of what I had. But I did have some kids from Stanton. I don't speak very well with grown people, but I sure do talk with children. I have been encouraged along the way, and I have to give a special accolade to Sister Perry Pendleton, Jenny Pendleton. when I was coming along, and I would always ask her about teaching before I had a chance to go back to school. And she would say, when you go back to school, do the best you can. Do the very best you can. She said, work hard and do a good job. And I was so impressed with what she told me. I met so many of you so many years ago that if I called everybody's name, I'd be standing up here. You all don't want to hear me talk that long. However, I have been blessed to be a teacher that's been recognized many times over. And I won't say what for because you find that out one of these days. But thank you so much, Sister Brent King, Sister Susie, for including me in what you've been doing. You have revived my spirit of kinship to Stanton and to the profession of teaching. She has not let me sit down on her nor run away because she called me and kept me up to date. I'm so thankful for all the kindness that I've been shown over the years, the many accolades that I've been given, and for Miss Tolliver, who spread it in Central Augusta when I was secretary out there, and I thought she was the cutest thing that ever walked on the earth. She had on heels about that high. And she was a dressing young lady. She still is. I just want to let you know that. But I have met and loved so many of you around this table. I could call all of you. And Dorothy and Dottie and Elda. And Sister Helen taught me. And I was a handful. She doesn't have to tell you about that when she gets to it. I might not remember. But I was with Booker T, and she was my teacher. She was my PE teacher and my home ec teacher, I do believe. Ms. Judkins never did teach me. I knew Thelma when she was secretary at Booker T. I met Kathleen when she came to Stanton and started teaching in the school system. She encouraged me and loaned me books when I didn't have them. And I'm thanking Brother Holly for saying, I believe I could fly, because I thought I could when he finished singing. I met Miss Jones when she came over, and she met her husband, Walter, who was also my big brother. He and John Brown were my big brothers. Okay. But what I'm saying is that John and Walter encouraged me along the way too. So thank you, everybody. I'm done.
My name is Joan Jackson Brown. When I first came here in '63, I was at Jackson. I was the young Miss Jackson, and I see Lavera is back here. Her mother was the older Mrs. Jackson. Reverend Scott hired me as my principal, and Wesley Scott, Kathleen's husband, was my assistant principal. I started at Cedar Green Elementary School. I've been teaching in the county for 32 years, and I see some of my students, they're still calling me Miss Jackson, as they refer to that a lot, especially this young man here in the back. Can't think of your name, but you... All right, okay, he was one of mine. Also, I want to thank this committee for doing this. I think it's a long time coming. Makes you feel proud of what you tried to do here in Augusta County. And I have enjoyed all of my years. Now, I started at Cedar Green. We integrated in '66, went to Wilson. I sort of made a circle. Went to Wilson, taught there for 3 years at the old hospital, those of you who are familiar with that. Then I went to Stuart Straff High School for 19 years, and then I ended up at Beverly Manor Middle School, so I really came full circle. And she was saying she had lawyers and doctors that she taught. I have too. The rest family, you know, teachers and whatever, and I'm so proud of all of my students. When I see them, I tell my husband, I said, something must have happened because they really look good and they've done well. Anyway, thank you.